Hey, what's up guys, it's Disturbed, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best way to build your character when using Predator's Mark. Before I get into the video, I just want to ask you if you can please drop a like, as these build videos do take me quite a while to make, and if you like seeing content like this, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, Predator's Mark. It isn't the best DPS build in the game because the bleed isn't instantaneous and the set bonuses are actually pretty lackluster, but if used correctly, it can be an amazing build. Again, it's not the best DPS build in the game, so if you're looking for the absolute best DPS build for doing flat out damage, a link to a video I did on that will be in the description. But nonetheless, Predator's Mark is a fantastic choice when choosing a DPS build because its bleed allows you to do a lot of damage over time. With the recent buff to assault rifles and the nerf to strikers and sentry, a Predator's Mark build is probably the second best DPS build that you can get in the game. So if that's all you can seem to get your hands on, this video will show you how to build your character. Before I get into the build, I just want to mention that this build is meant for killing NPCs and it's not a PvP build. If you'd like a PvP build revolving around Predator's Mark, let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video on that sometime in the future. Anyways, let's get right into the build. So starting off with the gear sets, obviously you're going to be using 4 pieces of Predator's Mark, and for the other 2 pieces you can use a lot of things. The best thing to use would be Striker's Battle Gear because 10% enemy armor damage is just much more than anything else will give you, but I didn't have that good of Striker pieces, so I have 2 pieces of Sentrys Call on. The other 2 pieces don't matter that much, so depending upon what you're doing you can switch out these 2 pieces. Final Measures are great, 2-piece Blind, 2-piece Tactician, 2-piece Sentry, and 2-piece Striker are all pretty good choices, but for flat out damage, Striker is the best. So now let's take a look at your firearms, your skill power, and your toughness. I have 3,139 firearms, which is a bit overkill, and if I could, I would drop it down to about 2,900 so that I can keep all my gun talents activated and put the rest into stamina. As for my skill power, it could be a little bit higher, and I'll get into that in a minute, but I'm fine with the way that it is right now. Now quickly looking at your weapon. For your primary, you want an assault rifle. I would suggest a G36 because of its higher fire rate, low recoil, and its pretty huge amount of damage. It is going to get nerfed, but I still think that it will be the best assault rifle, and it's pretty easy to get your hands on. Now in terms of modding it, you want headshot damage and crit chance on the scope. For the magazine, you want magazine size and weapon damage. I don't have one with weapon damage, so I'm using one with crit chance. It works for now. And just as a quick disclaimer, don't get rid of fire on your assault rifle. Now it says that your DPS will go up, but it will make your recoil get out of control, and when using Predator's Mark, it's much better to have additional damage to make your bleed do a lot more damage. For your grip, you want stability and horizontal stability. This will help out with your recoil a lot. Don't just use like accuracy grips to increase your DPS. It's pretty pointless and all you're doing is stacking a falsified number. It's not an actual DPS increase. And for your muzzle, you want stability and crit chance. I don't have one with crit chance, so I'm using one with crit damage. Now for your secondary weapon, I would say to use an SMG. The Vector, PP19, AUG, and MP7 are all pretty good choices. I wouldn't say to use an M1A or any other sniper because chances are if you shoot somebody 10 times in the head, I'm pretty sure they'll be dead by that point, and the whole point of using Predator's Mark is to quickly get your bleed on a target, so that would kind of defeat the purpose. Now let's take a look at your gear and what rolls you want on it specifically. For your chest piece, you want armor and damage to elites, not really any debating this here. For your mask, you want either damage to elites or skill power for the major attribute. I like having the extra damage, so I go for damage to elites. For the minor attributes, try to get enemy armor damage. It might not seem helpful, but it's actually a pretty significant DPS boost. Moving on to your knee pads, you want critical hit damage for the major attribute, and for your minor attributes, again, make sure it has enemy armor damage, as that is a pretty big DPS boost. For your backpack, you want critical hit damage. You can get skill power, but I don't think it's worth it to lose out on that much DPS, so I usually stick with crit damage. Now for your gloves, you want critical hit damage, damage to elites, and crit chance. I actually re-rolled this glove 6 times trying to get crit chance instead of shotgun damage, and it just straight up wouldn't give it to me. I just keep getting pistol damage, LMG damage, sniper damage, and health on kill, and that was kind of pissing me off. And it bankrupted my credits, so that's why I don't have crit chance on this. I'll probably re-roll it once I get enough credits. But anyways, for your holster, just make sure that it has armor on it. Now in terms of modding your gear, you want either armor or skill power bonuses on them. Obviously if you're at armor cap, then you want to make sure to get skill power and vice versa. So that's pretty much it for your gear. Now moving on to your skills, you want to be using first aid with overdose. There's pretty much no debating this here because NPCs just do so much damage now, so having that extra heal is great. For your second skill, you can either use pulse with tactical scanner, smart cover with recharger, or sticky bomb with flashbang. It really just depends on what your group is running and the certain situation, but those are all the best skills to use. Ammo cache is also pretty nice in the underground using the waste not want directive so that you can reload and not have to waste your ammo. Now moving on to your talents, you want on the move for your first talent, which gives you a huge damage resistance buff almost all the time, so definitely make sure to get that one. For For your second talent, you want Precision, which gives you an additional 12.8% crit chance and 25.6% crit damage when you headshot an enemy, which is just a huge damage increase, and I absolutely love this talent, probably one of the best talents in the game. Next talent you want is One is None, which returns bullets right back into your magazine when headshotting enemies, which is just a godsend for your DPS. And then for the last talent, you want Critical Save, which gives you a nice bonus of damage resistance when using a medkit on low health, and it's just pretty nice to have it. So that's pretty much it for the build, guys. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to drop a like, as it does help me out a ton, and subscribe for videos similar to this one. I'll see you later, guys. Peace.